This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Burke, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is Brian Edward Hill, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
All right, I'm just jumping right into this because nothing I say is going to do is, trust me, what the next hour or more that you're about to hear is going to blow your mind. Anyway, that's right, it's the Capes and Lunatics, episode 142. That's right, the big 150th Phil Parrott birthday episode coming up soon. Stay tuned. Anyway, I am Phil, as I said. Joining me, as always, the Prince of New Jersey,
Charlie, the Professor Asser.
And the Queen of Florida herself, Gator Slayer, Heartbreaker.
Hey, her.
That was a little hot.
Gotta get that possum out of your Wi-Fi there, Lilith.
Anyway, so yes, as we were saying off mic. All right, so Charlie, you probably didn't even watch the Arrow finale, right?
No, but I can read like anybody else.
You're still in your in your mansplaining way, telling us John Diggle is never going to be Green Lantern. Spoiler.
Well, because I read what they actually showed, and what they showed.
You didn't watch the footage, did you? No.
I saw. I asked you if they showed a Lantern logo, and you showed me what they showed, and it's like, oh, it's a box with a green thing.
A box shot out of the sky like a meteorite.
Yeah, which means it's probably kryptonite.
He knows what kryptonite is, though.
Does he say, what is this?
No, he just opens the box.
Okay, so he opens the box and it's kryptonite.
How about the showrunner said, oh, yeah, we wanted to give the fans their little thing, so we gave...
Yeah, well, exactly. And what I'm telling you right now, which I thank you for stepping on what my whole overarch in super connectivity was going to be, you are much more likely to get Van Wayne from Van Wayne Enterprises showing up as the new antagonist in Batwoman than John Diggle turning into Green Lantern within the current Arrowverse.
Burn.
Because if, not for nothing, if they wanted a Berlanti Green Lantern, we would have one. The fact that this ring that he found follows no lore, no structure, does not present itself in any way, it is not going to be it's a tease for the nerds like the Van Wayne billboard was. The difference is no one's going to stop them if somebody just says on Batwoman says, F it, Van Wayne is in this universe now. Van Wayne is going to...
Actually, they can't, though. They can't even do that.
They can't?
No.
Why?
Okay.
It's like a powerless thing. They can't do that.
Because it's NBC? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well then there we go. So there's that.
Unless they're going to do what they did with Constantine and absorb everything, which nobody wants to absorb Powerless into the Arrow universe. Well, nobody's clamoring for that except for Charlie. Sorry, buddy.
Powerless if they do it as a dark backward version.
What they did with Constantine, because that was also an NBC joint production, and like I said, no one's clamoring for Stephen Amell's not like going, yeah, let's get Powerless in our universe. Let's save that show. Well, it's just not gonna happen. Sorry.
To be fair, it was apparently the one thing they weren't allowed to use. So I think when they got the rights to it, they were a little happy because we did not get a Powerless crossover in our Crisis on Infinite Earth. So, and to be fair, they don't actually have to make it powerless. They can just have Van Wayne as a character. And because this is a new universe restructured from all the pieces of the old, having a Van Wayne show up as a distant cousin of Bruce with his own company that's now trying to position himself to take away what's left of Wayne Enterprises from what's her name, Batwoman. That's a possibility. That's a real possibility of original characters and original structure. Bringing Alan Tudyk as a fan favorite actor to bring a new, darker turn to this role. That's a real possibility. Taking an established DC character that people have money invested in and heart invested in, and trying to paste it on top of Diggle, much more unlikely. That's the point. That's the point I'm making. Not that that actor couldn't play Jon Stewart in the upcoming Green Lantern series, which is already greenlit for HBO Max. Just that if you want John Diggle to be Green Lantern in the Arrowverse, you're much more likely to get Van Wayne in the Arrowverse first. That's my statement.
Okay. You can die on that hill, homie.
Well,
I have no
really,
problems with
so
it.
Lilith, you really think they're going to let Diggle be Green, John Stewart? Green
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's more likely than what you're
saying. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying Diggle, aka David Ramsey, who has a whole relationship with CBS and the CW, has been on Blue Bloods, done a lot of things, has more possibility of being Green Lantern in the Arrowverse if they so choose. If HBO Max is going to let them play with a Green Lantern character,
it's not about them so choosing. My point is, if they were going to so choose, they'd have made that choice already.
No, because there's other things going on right now.
Exactly, but the other things going on
things are loose, fast and loose right now, so it's more likely. I'm just saying it's more likely.
I don't think.
It's more likely.
I think that's just fangirl hope.
You can die on the hill. It's fine. We can move
on the hill because you got this fangirl hope that someone.
It's not a thing. I don't even care about Green Lantern. Like, what the hell? I don't.
Okay, well then you have to admit that if DC proper is building out a Green Lantern in its own in its own HBO Max universe, it is most likely not going to be tied to the Arrowverse.
I'm not saying that HBO Max's series is tied to the Arrowverse. I'm saying that in the Arrowverse can be a Green Lantern now that Green Lanterns are in play after the freaking ban of 2011. I'm just saying
we can have both.
It can happen.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
If Stargirl can do both, Green Arrow can do. A Green Lantern can do.
Diggle and Lila said they're moving to Metropolis, so he could show up on Superman and Lois.
Because they are potentially establishing a actual modern Justice League because Stargirl is doing the JSA. They want that synergy. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
There's lots of things in the air.
That's right. And
I'll leave it at that.
We got a Flash. We got the Bad Person. We got 2 Kryptonians. Yeah, we need a Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We have a Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
I literally have no skin in the game, but from my understanding, it is a possibility.
I mean,
it's not as minute as it used to be. It's not as minute as seeing Hal Jordan. All we got was the jacket. So
I'm just saying it's a possibility, sure, as much as Alan Tudyk showing up as a long lost Wayne cousin.
It's a more likely possibility. I'm just saying, all things considered. All things considered.
Okay.
Is anyone else uncomfortable when Mom and Dad fight?
It's not a fight. He wants to die on the hill. It's fine.
I wanted to have an entire arc on Super Connectivity about cheesy fan service that's never going to happen.
Okay.
Like Van Wayne, in which I was going to actually equate this Van Wayne cheesy fan service with the idea of a Diggle Green Lantern in a dying universe, which is what the Berlantiverse is.
Well, then stop. There's your tease, people. Check out Super Connectivity on Wednesday.
I already blown my load. I don't know.
Oh!
Whoa! This is a family show, sir. I know it's Friday night, but it's still a family show, sir.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll continue on. Moving right along.
Oh, listen to you. You were talking about salty discharges on your face, Lola.
I don't even know.
Well, it was rightly so. The Good Place had no right to do that to me out of nowhere.
That was
Out of nowhere, uncalled
my
for.
segue.
Okay.
To talk about the Good Place.
Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it was. First off, I found it a very uplifting ending. I thought everything was really
It is,
positive.
but I was just like, no, don't go. What are you doing?
Well, I felt it was a little. First off, First off, I thought it was an.
Because Eleanor is my. I just love her ending, okay? Like, she actually grew and she actually got Mindy, like, to think about it, and it's just good for another human being that
What I'm gonna say is I'm so proud of Tahani. Just basically saying, you know what, I'm gonna stick around because there's actually are new challenges in this universe. To the point where you almost imagine, like, gee, maybe everyone else gave up too early. Like, Tahani is saying, you know what, I'm actually going to be an architect now because there are really Tahani's arc is the interesting arc because she has the apotheosis. She says, I'm not going to be bound by the fact that I'm a human being. I want to move to that next level.
Yeah, she still had to call the manager. That's all I'm saying. Did she really grow? She called the manager. Just saying. Bending the rules for Tahani. It's fine.
Well, they bent the rules for Michael too. They bent the rules for Michael too. And
well,
actually,
to be fair, the judge was sick of them.
For what it's worth, Ms. Shellstrop called the manager. Went right to the judge to make the pitch. I love that we never actually met the actual manager. Like, the closest we got was the judge. That if there is a manager, no one ever saw it. And but it was about Tahani growing and saying there is more. Even in the afterlife, there is more. There's more to do. There's more to be. There's a lot of Jeremy Bearamys in the Omniverse, and I want to do more. And sorry about that. That I think is the best story. Is the Tahani story is the best story. The Jason story is delightful with Janet.
Classic Jason, to be honest.
Well, I love
classic to the end.
See, okay, so just to give you a little backstory on when I watched this, I actually, because I was doing podcasts with Maz, I actually came into it halfway through when Michael tried to go through.
Oh.
And at first I thought, oh wait, is the door just that the door doesn't do anything? It's just to give people the idea that there's an end. And I didn't watch any further, and so I went back and I watched everything else. And I noticed that, they never show anyone going through the door, and then, Janet leaves and Jason is sitting there to think about going through the door. And then when she comes back, all of a sudden Jason shows back up. And it's like, the door doesn't actually do anything. But then they sort of build on that. And I was really waiting for that to be the reveal because they still don't even show Jason going through the door after he says goodbye to Dr. Manhattan Janet. My favorite, I'm at once.
Well, it could be worse. She could be Derek stuck at Mindy's.
What is up with Derek? Because we know what's weird about Derek is, yes, he's like, I am Derek. I am all things and no things. And yet he's still just freaking Derek, which is an interesting secondary commentary on becoming more evolved. It's like, it doesn't mean to be, it's nothing to just.
He's his best version of himself, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's leveling up without.
That's as Derek as Derek can get.
You know what? Derek is a freaking premium game champion. He just got all the pluses, and now he's beating Bowser. But it's like, you didn't beat Bowser, you just bought beating Bowser. Now, granted, Derek didn't actually make the choice to beat Bowser. He just got put into that spot where he's beating Bowser. But still, it does seem like it is not what... It didn't seem like it had weight or meaning the way that Tahani's growth has meaning, the way that Janet's growth has meaning.
Without a doubt.
And Janet...
Poor Philip doesn't know what the hell we're talking
No, you're
about.
still there, Philip. Well, this is how I feel when you guys talk about DC.
Exactly. Or what Lil feels like when we talk like Marvel, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Lilith,
when it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I totally zone out. No worries.
Lilith, why didn't you tell me there was going to be a Josie and the Pussycats in space?
Because I didn't know it was going to be a Josie Cats in the I didn't know.
No, that
Okay. So long as you... I like CBR was saying,
it's like Cats. It just came out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting it. Nobody thought it would work. It was a crazy idea.
You see, the thing
we didn't think it was really going to happen.
Wait, I'm going to sound like
I love Josie and the Pussycats in Space, the original series, and I know this has probably nothing to do with that, because that is technically set in the Jetsons universe along with the Partridge Family.
Is this a new animated series?
No, it's a comic book.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, but there was in the 70s a Josie and the Pussycats in Space.
Yeah.
That crossed over with the Partridge Family in Space, which crossed over with the Jetsons. So that you basically had
the 70s were a weird time, homie.
Basically, they just decided that because there was a Gilligan's Island in space, if you recall correctly, and yeah, that which was great, by the way. I love Gilligan's Island in space. Got the whole original cast except for Tina Louise to come back because Tina Louise never comes back. She does not like having been on that show. I don't know why. Very strange. Whatever. Anyway, but yeah, they would put everything in space in the 70s, and they even had a Yogi Bear in space, if I recall correctly. But
everyone in the space. I mean,
ever ago, because it was a digital first, right? And I went like, no, thank you. I saw the artwork and I was like, no, not for me.
Oh, it's a digital comic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so they finally released it. It usually takes like 4 to 5 months for a digital first. So yeah. I was just like, they did another one?
Okay. I didn't even know Archie's did digitals. So okay, so that's
oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
But
they do digitals.
Okay. I mean, because what struck me about it is that it's clearly not based off of the original Josie and the Pussycats in Space storyline, because they're wearing space.
No, they're on like a USO tour,
and
they're basically Scooby-Doo in space, to be quite honest. They're solving a mystery.
Josie and the Pussycats is Scooby-Doo with instruments. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, it's all cut from the same cloth.
All the 70s cartoons are basically that. I agree.
Lil knocked herself off.
Yeah, it got too exciting. Oh, okay. Well, she'll be back in a minute, I'm sure. So that's Josie and the Pussycats in space.
Did you want to save the big Marvel announcement for Super Connectivity, or talk about it here?
Which one was that?
The casting for Loki.
I mean, either way, it's. I mean, I sent you the list of everything I have. You're the one that has to. You're the producer of the show, man.
Well, I knew Lil had deep thoughts about the Diggle stuff, which we can continue talking about on Super Connectivity.
Yeah, we'll get back to that because honestly, Diggle can be Green Lantern in the universe. I'm just feeling.
Save it. You're gonna be like, I talked about it on Capes.
Well, first off, I never say we are talking because I figure there's people that listen to one show and don't listen to the other show. I always feel that there's someone's like, I don't want to listen to Capes; they go too long. I'm just going to listen to my Super Connectivity. Or the counterpoint is like, I don't want to listen to that drunken schmuck ramble for 4 hours. Give me some little help there to keep him under control. So
you got to wait for the 69 episodes. That's all.
Yeah, well, but yeah, it's. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I was intrigued by it because I did love Josie and the Pussycats in Space, which ran for like half a season. It's one of those weird things because that was weirdly enough. I don't think the Archies ever went to space. I don't think the Archies ever were in space. I think the closest you ever had was the Superhero High cartoon series.
Archie comics expert Lilith Hellfire. Has Archie ever been in space?
If cartoons don't really get into the cartoons because that 70s ain't not really my jam. Not really my jam.
It's all I had back in the 70s was, so it's like I didn't have a choice of what my jam was going to be. That was the jam. We had great. It was, and we liked it.
And she's going again.
And she's got an armadillo in her freaking router. That's the problem. It's just armadillos everywhere down there. It's an invasive species. They need to up that crocodile population to get rid of the armadillos.
It's like Jurassic Park down there, man. Florida.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, they have the Jurassic Park live show. Now it's coming to the Prudential Center.
Oh.
I keep on asking Tristan, do you want to go to that? Because he really loves Jurassic Park and he loves animatronics. And it's Jurassic Park with animatronics. And it's like, Tristan, do you want to go? And it's like, yeah. You know, it's like, come on, kid. Just watch the commercial, look at it, saying, yes, I want to see that. No, I don't. And, kids today.
Lilith, I think sobriety's messing you up.
No, it's the armadillos. It's fine.
Charlie was right.
Yes, and today's the last day of the sobriety. Unless she decides to go further, which I encourage, Lilith. If you can stop drinking, I encourage anyone to do that.
Wait, what?
I don't have a problem. I can quit anytime.
I know. My problem is I do have a problem and I can't quit at any time. That's my problem.
Lilith doesn't have a problem with alcohol. It has a problem with her.
Alcohol is a solution, scientifically speaking. Just saying.
So are you back off the wagon tomorrow, Lilith, or are you gonna keep going?
Nah, it'll happen when it happens. I'm not gonna rush it.
Good.
That's a good plan, Lilith. You see, that's always my problem with giving it up for Lent, is I have a set start and a set end, and it's easy to do that. And then as soon as it's ended, I'm like, well, I can go
right in
back.
time for St. Patty's Day. Or in this case, not really, because it's Easter's that weird thing.
Lent, so it's like, it starts with Fat Tuesday though, so that's good, because that's why it's Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras.
And that has been your drinking update.
Oh, are we going to talk about Owen Wilson?
Sure, let's talk Owen Wilson.
Or did you guys want to save that for super connectivity? Because that's more
I just got today. I don't have that many thoughts on it. Because I mean, like my first
good for him. He's working again. That's the only thought that I had, honestly, guys.
I was like, wait, Ellen DeGeneres was busy?
No, my first thought was, good, they found their Thor.
What?
I was like, is Luke coming along?
Well, I just imagine that like you're going to get Loki talking about, and of course my brother Thor was there, and it'll be Wilson.
Flashback: Owen and Luke Wilson play young Thor.
When you run out of Hemsworth money.
Oh.
You can always get the third brother.
When he's not busy doing life-saving surgery, Charlie.
And was that just a rumor, or did I see somewhere they're going to have there's going to be some kind of trans character on the Loki series?
Yeah, no, there is a character.
It makes sense.
There actually is there's a character in Marvel who is trans, who will be in. I've forgotten her. I can't remember if it's his or her name, but I've forgotten their name already. So it's a minor character. It's like if someone says, and they'll be Boulder on this series. Everyone's like, who's that?
So
and Charlie's like, yes!
Yes! And there's like 200 people like, yes! Maybe more, but yes, they're very excited about this character. But they will be in it, and yes, they are a trans character. Although, actually, the first trans character in Marvel, I believe, was Cloud. And it's not Cloud, because I'd remember if it was Cloud. No one remembers Cloud.
Is it from
the Defenders?
Is the character from an actual Loki book, or is it?
I'm not sure. Oh. I don't have the article in front of me.
Okay, that's not.
At first, when they said it was going to be a trans character, it's like, yeah, of course, there's going to be a trans character. Their name is Loki. It's like, no, it's a completely different trans character.
Literally, I'm like, makes sense.
Yes.
It's not. Okay.
I actually kind of wish it was Cloud. Cloud was, if I recall correctly, basically a it was basically a creature made of. It was like an alien being who was essentially a sentient cloud, and they could form themselves into whatever form they wanted, and sometimes formed itself as male, sometimes formed itself as female. It's been a long time since I read the actual entry in the Marvel Handbook, but they were on the Defenders for a while, and they basically were always naked with just clouds over the they just had some new clouds that kept it from being an Alan Moore comic.
Yeah, but is that really a trans character? It's almost like a character born with like no gender, and it's like it could choose either one.
Non-binary is the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could I would call it trans just because Cloud transitions back and forth, and Cloud was introduced as one gender, and then one this other gender, and seemed to be like more comfortable being the other gender after they decided to switch which gender they were. But I can't remember which way they switched, but they did switch, and I believe that was the story with Cloud. So just to get to that point, that Marvel was doing woke comics decades before. I gotta tell Brian Cronin about that too. He does those, when comics got political way before comics were political. So I think Cloud might be a good topic for him to explore. So
we'll sign it. Charlie Esser from the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Yes, I will mention that. Yes, he knows who we are. He's been on the show. Exactly. We actually interact from time to time on Facebook. It's so exciting for me. He made a career out of being a nerd. How cool is that? He does have his Juris Doctorate, though. But he says he doesn't go around calling himself Dr. Cronin, and like everyone who follows him says, I really think he should. So I don't know if Juris Doctorate is technically the same as a scientific doctorate, because because I don't know if there's a Juris Master. I don't know if there's a master's in law. I don't know if there's a middle ground that you could have that's not quite a Juris Doctorate. It's like there's like pre-law and then Juris Doctorate. I don't think there's a master's level of law school. So I could be wrong because I never studied law. So, which is why when I walk off a cliff, I don't fall down.
Okay.
Moving right along, Philip. Give us another topic.
Man, we're burning through them. So no guessing.
Oh, Owen Wilson. Yeah, I mean, probably he's a SHIELD agent.
Clay Quartermain.
Oh, you can't see that because it's a podcast, but I'm like shaking with joy. Yes, Owen Wilson is Clay Quartermain. Oh, that's amazing, because think about it, like he goes back to the 70s. Owen Wilson looks like he's from the 70s.
Exactly.
As this young SHIELD agent, Clay Quartermain, then they have to go meet his brother Alan, who runs the farm. That'll be fun.
That's right, and we're one step closer to a Grey Hulk road trip. Yes.
I would love. Oh man, Owen Wilson. So start it now. Mark Phil's words.
January 31st.
January 31st. Owen Wilson will be Clay Quartermain, who sort of runs into Loki, and it'll be like the first Asgardian they met, and that's what's cool about it. Or at least the first Asgardian they met that they know of, because we all know that Thor worked for the Nazis in the 40s. Don't talk about it.
Perfect spokesman. Aryan Nation loves that Norse mythology. It actually all kind of ties in and makes sense. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Norse mythologists do not like that fact.
They don't, but
they do not.
Those white supremacists love it.
Yeah, white supremacists love anything they.
It's like how they got pay. It's like it's a sad day. It's a sad day. We will not let you have pay.
The white supremacists act like they have rock and roll too. So.
Oh, they act like they have a lot of things. It's fine. It's not fine, but
yeah, no one likes white supremacists. Go home. Anyway, moving right along. But yeah, so I think it would be kind of cool if you have Clay Quartermain sort of having to deal with Loki, And Loki being in this weird middle ground where he's like, I'm a villain, but I'm kind of escaping now. The universes have kind of fractured, and I know I'm in a different universe because I can see all my other futures because I'm magic. And
Loki escaped with the Tesseract in Endgame. What if Clay Quartermain's like quantum leaping after him as he's going from time to time?
Oh, that would be so awesome, especially if like get Howard Stark back in there and maybe another Peggy Carter reference. It's like, well, we built this machine to try and track the Tesseract. Oh no. Because it would have been in the future that he got it.
Oh, you've been calling
unless he goes back to the 70s and that's where they find him.
No, Charlie, you've been calling it. You know who sends him from the present? Old Man Steve.
Oh, Old Man Steve. Oh, and that would be a great way to solve the problem of Steve being a jerk to everybody and just living his whole life with Peggy. Because even Sebastian Stan has said, not cool, man. But as I said, that's my theory, is that he lived in a completely other universe as Old Man Steve and then went back and caught up with them, you know? Because if you think about it, probably, because here's my theory. Okay, so here's my new theory. I have a new theory for Old Man Steve. He's not like 90 when you see him there. He's actually like 290.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like 100 years old. Yeah,
he went to the universe where he broke off with Peggy, lived that whole life with Peggy, did his whole thing there, you know, yada yada yada. Then when she died, he goes back in time, just decides to live a whole, trying to stay in that universe, and probably being a superhero now, an aging superhero. Kind of a, sort of basically being an aging superhero as he ages up to when we see him on the park bench. Because you think about the way that Steve Rogers has to age, he's not going to age at a normal rate. He's got freaking super soldier serum.
That's right. He drank some of that super soldier serum cola.
No, he has the full dose.
Scroll down.
See last episode.
Yeah, no, he had the full dose of and then, you know, if he's living that whole time in the 50s where they're putting it in a moxie, he's getting all that. He's getting revived up. So, yeah. 10 minutes, boys, on the electronics. Anyway.
Last call for electronics. Last call for your YouTubes, your Twitters, and your Instagrams, and your TikToks and your Snapchats.
Yes, sir, Babo. But yeah, I mean, that would be great to have Old Man Steve send them out there. I mean, you know, and again, we don't even have to have Chris Evans come in. Just have people saying comes from Old Man Steve. You know, this comes from the old man.
Director Rogers.
And just have him show up. Yeah. Have him show up in the last episode. Yeah, you know. Because did they have anything? No, they didn't. Did they have any of the Infinity Stones when they started? Oh, they had the Mind Stone. So the Mind Stone. Can the Mind Stone be returned?
Which universe? Wait, what?
No, because they got the Mind Stone from the past. That's right. I'm just trying to think, like,
yeah,
all the stones
were.
So it'd be like those glasses in Star Trek.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing. It's the idea that, you know, you probably can't destroy the stones, and they probably are going to all reform again.
Form, maybe, yes.
You know.
But that's a future them problem. No worries now.
Yeah, because we're still in a universe now with no Infinity Stone.
Warming?
Which doesn't solve the basic problem. Although maybe that's what the Multiverse of Madness is going to be about, is Stephen Strange reforming.
Speaking of which, you should be watching Chilling Adventures of Sabrina this season if you like time travel shenanigans.
Yes, I know. I know it's dropped. People have already watched the whole thing. I'm way lame and late.
Don't worry, I'm only on episode 3. But I've read all the spoilers because I'm just that kind of person.
Yeah, but BoJack just dropped today too, and it's like, good gods, man.
I know, like I'm really bummed I'm not going to be able to get to it this weekend.
Yeah, so it's
the Reddit is already jumping, and I'm just like, ugh! Should I look? Yeah. No, I'm not going to look because it's the last season. I want to be fresh. I want to go in fresh for this.
Well, according to the AV Club, the first episode teases a quiet life for Bojack. So you know that's going to be completely toxic.
Oh, it's not going to be quiet. We already know.
And Charlie,
his past is going to come back to bite him in the butt.
and Charlie Esser, you can go on
So-
CBS's website and watch the first episode of Picard for free until I think it's the 4th or the 5th.
Okay.
The 5th. It's the 5th.
Yeah. You know, Philip, do you have
He's
any
not
idea
interested.
how low watching Picard is on the list of things? There's like episodes of MST3K on Tubi that are ranking above Picard right now.
Oh, I thought
Okay.
you liked Star Trek.
I mean, I love Star Trek, but I'm
He
like,
wanted something new. We had this conversation last week, Philip.
Yeah,
God, do you listen?
yes, I know you said they're space pirates. Like, yeah. But are they really, Philip? Yeah.
Is it?
Okay, here's a topic then. Well, first I wrote down. I mean, we got the announcement this week that the He-Man movies kind of on hold and definitely canceled.
You
Boo!
want to get more eroticism now, Philip?
But no, here's the thing.
You have to read my fanfics.
Well, no, I heard a good point. Leslie Jones was on Howard Stern on Wednesday, and she brought up a good point. Like with all these reboots and like them bringing trying to redo old properties and stuff.
Well, poor Sony, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, is this like the entertainment industry's version of Make America Great Again? Bringing back all these old properties and stuff,
No. Well, first off,
No, it's just that they don't like new properties. They don't like new intellectual properties. They want that nostalgic cash grab. But dude,
let me just
safe.
As a man who grew up on the Harlem Globetrotters meet Gilligan's Island, let me tell you, nostalgia is not a new commodity. It has been being repackaged literally since I was born. Literally, I grew up on nostalgia because literally it was nostalgia for the 50s and 60s. That was the media that was given to me that I'm now nostalgic for. So, as a great example, Naked Gun is basically just Dragnet, but where they're in on the joke. Dragnet was very inappropriate, and they didn't even know it at the time. Yeah, Dragnet is a very hard show to watch sometimes. But it's funny if you...
What, Lilith? Armadillos, Lilith. What you say?
Yeah. Got armadillos in your Wi-Fi, Lilith. Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry. I stepped on you, Lilith. What did you say?
don't worry about it. Keep going.
Okay, we'll keep going. Yeah, but no, it's like they had an episode on race relations today, and it was not comfortable.
Do they have a guard at the wall?
NYPD, just good old, Joe Friday trying to explain how the LAPD really isn't racist. And it's like, I know you're not, Joe Friday. I really do know you're not, but man, it's really hard for you to really pull that off. Anyway, yeah, that's Dragnet. But nostalgia, yeah. I mean, yeah, there is a quality that is that Make America Great Again nostalgia, which is like back to seeing things we liked when we were 10. But at the same time, if Star Wars is sort of anything, you can't go back and you don't want to. Because the thing you liked wasn't really the thing you liked. You liked the idea of being that youthful person watching it, not actually watching it.
That's a big selling point of this stuff. It reminds you when you're young.
Well, that's what.
But when you're young, you have terrible taste most of the time, unless you're me.
This is true.
Oh,
yes. Well, the thing of it is, as I pointed out before, nostalgia was originally considered a neurological disease. It was like in the DSM-1, nostalgia. But to
be fair, so was being gay. So
Well, fair enough. But
I mean,
the difference is that
hysteria. Give a woman a vibrator. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. My point is that historically nostalgia has caused way more damage than being gay or needing a vibrator.
I agree. I'm just saying you bring it up, but I'm like, here's a couple other things
They
too.
were all wrong. Is my point. It's like there were a couple like sociopathology. That's probably a bad thing, So yeah, nostalgia for sociopathology, both equally.
I mean, I'm not really clamoring for a live action He-Man movie. I'm good with the one we have.
Wait,
like, to be honest.
I mean, when I was like 6 or 7, I was big into He-Man, and like, I mean, if there was a movie, I would watch it. But these days, I'm like, if it doesn't happen, I'm like,
I wouldn't go to the movies and pay for it. Is all I'm saying.
Not without Billy Barty. That's all I gotta say. I mean, unless you're gonna do a hologram Billy Barty, then I could see it.
Make you rethink a lot of things. That's all I'm saying.
Or you got to get Willow to play Billy Barty because he was Billy Barty's apprentice, obviously, which they better pick up on in the Willow reboot. They better have. And I'm blanking on his name, but they better have him as Billy Barty's. Now the successful. Now he's the old wizard who says, "Which finger holds the universe?"
I forget. This was all years ago.
The answer was your own finger.
What?
The answer is your own finger. See, you don't know. You never watched Willow. You don't know, Philip.
I watched Willow, but it's been years and years since I've seen it.
Okay, well that's like the most crucial scene. So
I know.
That it made an impression on you. No.
I don't know if I've seen it since the theater.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's on Disney Plus, so you know.
Oh, is okay. Yeah.
And actually, one of the early scenes is Billy Barty. He's the great wizard of the. What they called them? Wasn't halflings. I don't think they called them gelflings either, but it was some kind of ling species. The ling species is. And he basically he's like looking for his apprentice because every year he says, "I will choose one apprentice," and he says, and his thing is he holds out his hand. He says, "Which finger holds the secret of power?" And each of the people pick one of his fingers, and he says, "No, no, no." And then there's only one finger left. It comes to Willow, and Willow's about to pick it, and he hesitates, and he picks the last finger. And he says, "No, there will be no apprentice this year." And then later, Billy Barty comes to him and says, "You hesitated. Why did you hesitate?" He says, "Well, I was thinking I should say my own finger." He says, "Well, that's too bad because you would have been right." And that's how Will goes on his adventure and does the pig trick to fool the evil sorceress lady. Sorry, spoilers.
Phrasing.
It's a good movie, man. It's a good movie. Anyway.
Hey,
because we're really off the rails here.
No, I was gonna say, you want to talk some comics?
Please do.
Phil's Comics Corner.
Only read Marvel.
Okay. Let's see. Lilith, did you read Detective Comics Annual 3?
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Bruce gets actual tale of Alfred's past. Yeah, Bruce gets a visit from an old partner of Alfred's.
Yeah, no, it's like, I don't care now. I really don't care. Too little, too late now. I don't care.
Are they like trying to cast the new Alfred?
Well, no, I mean, Lucius Fox.
Here's the Irish guy, and here's the black guy, and here's the Chinese guy. They were all part of his ragtag band of mercenaries.
I don't think this woman's sticking around. I think it was just like
the lady.
No,
that was the lady guy.
What?
That was the lady guy. Because you have a black guy, an Irish guy, a Chinese guy, and then you have a lady guy.
The guy with the boobs.
That's the one, Lilith.
Hellfire.
She is the lady of our group, unfortunately. Well, not fortunately.
She's the lady guy, yeah.
She does run
the 12-year-old boy girl.
Yeah, that's
something like that.
I did find the artwork very beautiful. So shout out to Eduardo Rousseau.
Yeah,
I love the artwork on this one, definitely. I think Summit Kumar did the cover though, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean,
The inside art was great.
I mean,
too.
it was a decent little one and done.
You know how I feel about annuals. You know, like I need a little more. Like, give me a backup story. Like just it's an annual. Have some fun with it. Stop being so doom and gloom.
So, give me some backstory on this female character.
There wasn't much. They stretched it out though.
I mean, basically, she comes to Bruce. You know, she without saying it knows he's Batman, and it's like basically, you know, help me complete this unfinished mission of Alfred's from back in the day. Basically, one of Alfred's buddies in the service basically betrayed them, and she's like, you know.
Oh, and you don't think this character is sticking around to be the new Alfred, the new chick?
No.
Alfred. You really don't. Well,
You can't have a woman waiting hand and foot on a man in 2020. Come on, Charlie, get your head out of your butt.
You assume she's waiting hand and foot on him, and isn't just going to be no. I'm the freaking, you know, I'm your mechanic and I'm your thing. You can wash your own dang underwear, you rich pampered kid. Alfred might have had to think about ironing underwear, and to be honest with you, had to think about it back in the day. We're like, why are you ironing my underwear, Alfred? It's like, so it looks nice.
Please.
Oh!
Oh, please! Like rich people wear.
Oh, Robin, I forgot. My bad. My bad.
Like rich people wear underwear more than once. Come on. They wear.
Well, Bill Gates cuts his own hair, so you know.
You don't get to be.
He does. He makes it a point.
Yeah,
and obviously you don't listen to TED Talks. It's fine.
And to be fair, I'm sure Alfred wanted to raise Bruce right, made him wear underwear more than once. So, you know. But
probably wrote his name and everything.
That was what was important. So you want to iron your underwear, Bruce, so that it's nice and has a good crease. You want a good crease.
But did it have to be $5 though? Like, I don't feel like I got $5 worth of story. That's all that I'm saying.
It's only you know, it's like like $1 with more of story.
Story, there was a backup. I mean, a short little backup. I mean,
short being the operative word. Again, like, I don't know.
Again, it's only $1 more. So how much did you want to? I mean, yeah, we would love for them to give us a ton more for $1 more, but yeah. At least
these annuals have been getting skimpy.
A digital code would have been nice.
Where they'll put an entire half other book in your book just to write the next book. I'm referring to.
I don't know. It's just something about annuals over at DC lately. It's just like, ugh. I praise one and then the next 5 are just trash. I can't deal with it anymore.
That's how annuals are, Lilith. I mean, to be fair, I think most annuals in any company, it's like there's like one or two.
Not Spider-Man annuals. I can't remember the last time I vetched about a Spider-Man annual, Philip. Can you? I don't think I have in a long time.
What's the last Spider-Man annual we had?
It's been like a year, probably.
Well, that would be how annuals work.
Well, the last one I remember was that.
Well, he's got like 90 books though, so you know, not technically.
Yeah.
Are you talking just purely Peter Parker? Because the last one I remember is that Spider-Gwen one from the Acts of Evil.
Yeah, that one was good.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah, see, I like when there's like an overarching theme to the annuals.
Yeah, but
we were talking about that.
Yeah, but the Acts of Evil thing wasn't even overarching because it wasn't like even like a big plot because everyone fought like a different person and they weren't even.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, it gave you a sense that there was something at least. Like it wasn't just here's a slightly bigger book for a slightly longer story, you know.
But did you read that Spider-Gwen annual Spider-Gwen annual, Charlie? Because she was facing Arcade.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I can't remember if you read it or not, but yeah, I thought maybe Arcade it might be up your alley.
Well, yeah, Arcade usually was that the one where Arcade was trying to go straight, or was that an open to toy store, or was that a different one?
No. She gets like stuck in Murder World. You know, his usual story with Arcade. Someone gets trapped.
The usual Murder World.
Yes.
I gotta say, man. The amount of either technology is so cheap in the Marvel Universe because it has guys like Reed Richards and Tony Stark in it that it's like, yeah, really, anyone can like build a murder world.
Well, I think people are just like buying like repurposed and jailbreak Doom bots.
Well, yeah, but it's this idea. It's one of those weird things where, as people say, if you're in a world with Tony Stark and Reed Richards in it, why aren't there more flying cars? Like, well, the same reason there aren't flying cars in this world because they're dangerous.
People are idiots.
No, it's just that you can't have everyone flying around because you're gonna have people crashing into like floors with people on them.
It's like buying busted Russian tech. People are buying busted Doom bots.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is clearly the technological advancement in this world is actually insane.
Oh yeah.
When you realize what people are just piecing together with freaking, web shooters would be
pulling
very
vultures.
hard for a kid to build, except he lives in a world with Tony Stark and Reed Richards and Howard Stark and Nathaniel Richards before him. It's like there's like 3 generations of like the greatest super scientists in the universe happen to exist on this planet.
Agreed.
As both Gaia and a star brand. It's a messed up planet. Let's be clear. Just don't raise that baby in Kansas.
Oh, ouch.
I didn't know if you wanted to save Avengers for super connectivity.
We can say that for super connectivity. That's a team.
Didn't worry that. Yeah. Lilith, you want to throw
So
something?
much
So
shit,
Black
so
Widow,
much.
Widowmaker. What's going on with Black Widow? Like,
What?
what's going on with that?
She's got a movie.
Her books kind of suck, man.
Whoa.
Like, I got the trade,
Okay.
and it's just boring.
Which one is that? Which was that?
Like, I try to support Black Widow. But...
Well, remember, there's a new one coming soon by Kelly Thompson, so that should be better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, there should be light at the end of the tunnel there.
Good. But what's the Daily Bugle was garbage. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle.
What was the point of that?
I hated
I
it.
mean, it wasn't.
Thank you.
What was the point of it? It was like, oh, Peter's back being a freelance photographer. But besides that, what was the point of that?
Hooray! Like, I'm supposed to be happy about that?
Else. The point.
Oh, you read it, Charlie?
Yes, I read Daily Bugle.
Okay. Well,
Spider-Man is superfluous in it. Absolutely. I'm not going to argue that point.
Well, I kind of figured he was going to be.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, Daily Bugle. Colon Daily Bugle.
Well, remember what I said last week about, because you were saying, what are they going to do with J. Jonah Jameson? And I said they're going to return him to his newsman roots because that's what he needs. He needs to get back in there and show I actually have a purpose in life. I actually was a great newsman. Yeah, I got obsessed with Spider-Man and yada, 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 yada. Caused all kinds of problems, scorpions and spider spitters, yada, yada, yada. But I actually am a good newsman. We've got the introduction of, I did not, he's Joseph Robbie Robertson? I did not know that. But I always knew it was Robbie Robertson. I didn't know his first name was Joseph.
Yeah, I've seen people call him Joe and Robbie. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Joseph Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And I guess thinking back, I guess I can see a Joe, but I don't know if that's a Mandela effect. Because originally, wait, is that supposed to be Robbie Robertson's son?
Robertson effect.
Anyway, but we got Robbie Robertson's niece, and she's like got all these Twit chat followers or whatever they called it. Which I always find is funny whenever they like write those fake names, for things. Because it does sound like an older person trying to talk about technology, which it kind of sort of technically is.
Yeah.
Because these are people about my age who are talking about it. So, but no, I like the fact that they're dealing with this idea about the Daily Bugle getting back to hard-hitting investigative reporting. I like that we've got this idea of, which is, and granted, yeah, it's really telegraphed. Obviously, I'm guessing this is either an all ages book or a teen book. This ain't a mature.
It's rated teen, yeah.
Yeah. Teen. Yeah.
But I think it's the lower end of teen because I think
might as well be EA, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very much meant to be a fun book for young kids who
I
like.
know the hip language the kids use these days.
I do know the hip language that kids use these days. That's not the point, Philip.
I know the TikToks.
I'm well aware of the talks that tick. I am the talk who ticks. That's what I say.
Oh my lord! I want a new spinoff. A new Capes and Lunatics spinoff. Breaking Esser.
I'm already broken. You can't put me back together. But the point is, when you look at the story, it is about people trying, and you get a nice interaction between what's his name, the reporter dude, and the girl. I'm sorry, what? Elric?
Ben Urich?
Urich. Yeah, that's right. Ben Urich and the reporter girl and
Urich.
Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, is that the other point of this? To like introduce Robbie or Joe, who or whatever name we're going with, his niece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, she's obviously the star, and she takes the Spider-Man story because it's click-worthy, and he's like, those webs is gonna dissolve by the time you get there. But of course they don't, which of course obviously you knew, because no, these aren't Spider-Man's webs. This is this entire subplot's web. It's very telegraphed. I'm not going to deny that. I'm a 45-year-old comic book reader. If I was a 13-year-old, 14-year-old comic book reader, I would like, yes, and I'd feel so excited that I figured it out. Well, the characters were still, what's going on? Who's the murderer? Butler, do you know who the murderer was? I have no idea. You know, it's not kind of story, but still, I can see how if I was a young comic book reader, I would have loved it. And as an old comic book reader who does like to feel like a young comic book reader every now and again, I really loved it too. So I liked Daily Bugle, Peter Parker's Spider-Man story.
I found the artwork inconsistent and chaotic, and they just need to refine the panel construction. It's like a whole thing. The dialogue was good, but I just really didn't feel like they were saying anything. So, you know.
Yeah, well,
not on the pull list.
The Koi Boy panel, which I did think was a little over the top. If I can be honest, I liked seeing Koi Boy make an appearance outside of the Squirrel Girl book, but and I liked that he actually got to do something. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I was going to say, yeah, they had at least 2 or 3 pencilers on this, so that's why the art's inconsistent.
Well, that usually is why.
Don't rush it. Usually that means it's a rush job when you have more than one. Like, oh yeah, or somebody pulled out at the last minute. Hey-o.
But
sorry,
or it's just one of these situations where it's not written for. You have to always ask who is this book for? And not everyone worries about the artwork in comic books because some people don't care that the Hulk has 3 toes. Some people get really obsessed about the Hulk having 3 toes and have to write an entire arc about why the Hulk once had
shots fired. Boom, 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 boom.
Most of us were like, I really never counted the Hulk's toes. I know about 4 things about I would know actually. One thing about the Hulk's toes, which is on one cover, his big toe is kind of set apart from his other toes. And aside from that, I literally know nothing else about the Hulk's toes. That was when the Hulk gets defeated after he's been separated and the Avengers are carrying him kind of on the cover. That was it was a good cover though. Anyway, that was before Great.
Yeah, right.
Yes. But
are you saving for super connectivity?
Saving what?
Are we saving what?
You broke up again. What are you saving?
Conan.
I didn't read it. Charlie, did you read Conan?
Oh no, I didn't pick up my books yet. Friggin' fraggin'.
Oh.
I knew there was a reason I wanted to get to. Let's talk Conan. Tell me about it, Lilith. Give me the goods.
All I can say is Crom. Star of the book. Enough said.
Okay. They have been really building Crom. They really Disney really wants this Cromian religion.
Wait, do we get Crom? Real Crom?
Yeah,
But we've had Crom the last couple issues. I think.
for a while. But no, it's the conclusion of Life and Death arc. So I'm like super excited how they ended it. I want to see just wow.
Okay, so I'm excited. We will talk about that next week after I pick up my book because I got to pick up the
Okie
book.
dokie.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
You know what it is? The kids wanted chicken tonight. I had to leave early from work yesterday, so I had to make up time today. And I was like, if I'm going to feel awful if I go get my comic books before I get the kids dinner. I'm getting dinner like around 7, and everyone's hungry and dying. So like,
It's okay when you gotta be a good papa. It's okay.
Yeah, But yes, I will pick those up tomorrow when I get the oil changed, and then we'll talk about it next week. Tune in for the big Lilith Charlie talk about Conan, where we'll probably say, yeah, that was really good. Yes, it was very good. Okay, moving on.
hey, did everyone read Immortal Hulk?
Yeah,
Lilith?
I did.
No. Oh, are you done with it?
No.
No.
I mean,
Ended up in the trade, so
it's okay. I barely know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with freaking Beyonder Rick Jones now.
Is he?
I'm not liking Beyonder Rick Jones. I'll say. I'll go that far right now.
Is he channeling the gamma radiation a different way or something? Or
He's like all laser beams.
it's
and
all floaty and glowy. Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, it's like I don't. Maybe he's supposed to be Superman. Rick.
But besides that, it's basically like Hulk and Samson and Red Harpy fighting big monsters.
Not feeling Red Harpy. Like,
is she like using that as like a way to keep Bruce and the Hulk at arm's length or whatever? I don't know.
I have no idea. Honestly, like I said, they lost the thread of Immortal Hulk when they got to Occupy Hulk.
Yeah.
As much as a progressive kind of as I am, comic books tend to lose the thread when they get all Occupy. And they're like, no, man, because the man is keeping us down. It's like, okay, And granted, you can write a story where, like, the man is an actual supervillain. And it's like, cool, I mean, here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool when Captain America found out that the secret head of the Serpent Society or the Secret Empire was actually Richard Nixon and was a virulent racist and was plotting to destroy the country. That was cool when it wasn't true. Wow. And at a certain point, it's like, it kind of just, it's like, it's not helping anymore. It's like, what if the head of ExxonMobil an evil demon just trying to destroy the planet for his own profit? It's like,
that's right.
And I'm just waiting for you to get to the fictional part. It's like,
that's right.
It's like, well, he's also a giant man bull with horns. It's like, okay,
And it only makes common sense.
I guess I would say Captain Planet did it better, is what I will say. I'm just saying this what's his name? The Minotaur guy? He's
Dario
Augur.
Dario Augur.
Yeah, Dario Augur is no loot and plunder. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I've
Lilith is sick of it. She's out of there.
That girl needs to get a cat. The cat will eat the armadillos.
Really?
She's like 4 cats. Because she's got dogs, and dogs won't eat anything until you tell them to go eat it.
Well,
Yes, she trained the dogs to eat the armadillos and the opossums getting in her Wi-Fi, and they will. They're really good about it.
Oh.
But if you just want something to eat things randomly when they come into your life and cause problems, you need a cat. Because cats don't care. They'll eat anything that moves. Dogs are loyal. Dogs want to know why you want them to eat it and what they're supposed to.
Not my dogs. Philip's drop button.
Okay.
I know.
You guys know my dogs know better.
Oh,
To know better for what? To eat or not eat? That's my point. It's like a cat will eat.
To bark while I'm recording.
dog,
Well, yeah, but my
dog, booty calls. They all know to be quiet when Lil's recorded.
My point is, and it's good, but if you want your dogs to eat the armadillos that are getting into your Wi-Fi, what you want is a cat that'll just eat whatever rodent is wandering through your place, so that these armadillos and possums aren't getting into your stuff. Cat will eat an alligator. Cats don't care. They're like honey badgers, but better trapped.
House cats.
Oh, I want to talk about the best book I read this week, by the way, guys. It
Which
is
what?
Frankenstein Undone.
Ooh.
Frankenstein Undone, #1. It was written by Mike Mignola and Scott Alley. I was interested because Mike had done Frankenstein Underground, and it kind of mashes up the original Frankenstein book, and then they throw him into our world. It's cool. I really like the art. The story is really cool. It's very faithful to the source material. Lots of Lovecraftian ideas going on in there. So
Who did
it's
that?
really
book?
good. It's by Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
So, any other books, or should we save some for super connectivity?
We can save everything else.
Definitely got to have some material.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, you boys probably have a lot to talk about on super
Nope,
connectivity.
we're
So
out.
on that note,
All right. So, Lilith, remind me tomorrow. Ray sent us feedback for Spidercast.
yay!
Not just Quantum Zone. Now he's sending it for Spidercast.
And what's all this?
Oh,
hearing you
Lord.
say no auto in the Sinister Six.
It's just a joke because we were just like, don't tell Charlie. It's just a joke.
Then John Tall just immediately told Charlie yes, sir.
Yeah, I know. You're like,
I know. That's the joke. You don't tell him till he gets to it.
because I want to get to it. Those things-
Now, what do you mean not in the movie?
Although they've actually been like really good this week because I was trying to get the job, which I got. But now I got the job. I don't care no more. It's like podcast all day, man. Talk to me later.
All right. So are we done?
We're done.
Man, to make you... On that note,
So yes, threw everything but the kitchen sink at you tonight. So send your thoughts on everything, what you want to cuss the cover. Hey, send your thoughts. Send your birthday wishes. Again, Big Phil Parrott's birthday, 150th episode show. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com.
April 1st.
Yes, no, thank you. I want to know what's going on the second week of April. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And follow all of the social medias and the YouTube and everything all in one convenient place, one convenient package. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support the sponsors. Hunt a Killer, Tweaked Audio, Pod Life, the book, now in paperback and digital. Read all about in at least 2 or 3 chapters about the young Mr. Charlie Esser over there. He gets mentioned.
I gotta read this book.
Yes, and as the wise Mr. Esser said, when you go to buy that book or whatever else on Amazon, use the Southgate Media Group link. That again affects you not at all, but sends a couple cents to Master Doom to bring you such fine quality products as the Capes and Lunatics podcast. Lilith Hellfire, Queen of the Armadillos. Where can people find you?
If I was Queen of the Armadillos, they wouldn't bother me. I have to be Queen of the Armadillos now. So much work. If you guys got any tips on how to become Queen of the Armadillos, please find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire or on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire69. Hello, Megan.
And Mr. Charlie Esser.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in the old fashioned email way, there are miles impossible and said, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter, so I tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is coming back at CHARLIU. CSSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
Equality.
Bing.
Thank you, Maz.
Without a doubt.
Thank you, Moss.
Maz.
I enjoyed Mandalorian episode 2 on Full Stream Ahead.
Yes, or stream ahead, me hearties. Come and join us next
Every Friday, right here.
There you go, on the Capes and Lunatics Network.
Or as I call it, the Charlie Esser Network. He's on.
I'm like only on like 3 shows. Phil was on way more shows than me.
You're on every Capes and Lunatics show except for Nightly News.
Bird.
And then Lilith is on every sidekick show except for Quantum. But for another week,
I'm gonna fix that.
Yeah, I know. Episode 169. I know. For another week, we've been the Capes.
Capesand
Lunatics.
Yeah.
Like 1 out of every 10, we get that right.
I can literally say this. That's what she said.
All right, boys, have fun.